I don't even think we know what's a real leader. We be looking at basketball players like that's some kind of leader, or a football player, or tennis players. And they're athletes. They're not leaders. They have athletic ability. They could lead on the athletic field, whatever the field of athlete that they're in, but they're not a world leader to wake up the people and bring them to a consciousness to know and understand who and what the devil is. That's not their job anyway. They're more like down with the Olympic people, trying to give them some entertainment and use physical prowess to do it. Sports and stuff, play, having fun. That works if the planet is not tripping out. Great to have fun and games. But these people are doing the fun and games to distract you so they could be over here doing devilish, man, evil, killing people, talking about they chosen this and they have the master destiny this and manifest destiny that. Just go out throughout history. First they got to justify why it's them doing it. And it's some form of supremacy. I'm the best. They still got the leftovers of that going on. You see it right now. The last of the New World Order is just falling apart. The 1947 people. Because that's them. They made that New World Order in the 40s. They took over the UN went to New York. Like that. They got that little connection going with London and all them, and France, and the Vatican, and the Academia of Germany, and that skip across. That's their foundation. Even all the way back when you talking about the Boxer Rebellion, that's Britain. The British is English. Who do you think that is? That's the same people. Britain, England, English, Americans, and descendants of the Britain, England, trying to get away from England. Why do you think they say speak English? They don't be saying speak, I don't know, Swahili. They're telling you to speak English. Speak English. Where's English? England. What are you talking about? Language. Look at language. You'll know who your colonizer is and who owes you reparations. That's how you figure it out. What language you speak? I speak English. England owes you money. In America, probably English and Spanish. Maybe a little bit of French people. Patois, them. Mostly Louisiana part and going all the way down into Haiti. France owes them. If you down in Brazil and all them areas, the Portuguese owe them. See what I'm saying? We know who owe. Just they try to make you confused. No, don't be confused. It's easy to follow the trail. They leave the trail themselves. They like to leave a trail because they destroy the culture and bring their culture in. That make your culture go away. You don't even know your culture. Culture's eye garbage. You don't even know it. You think you know, but you don't. You're still chasing the devil. I'm going to have some Bible study classes. Man, y'all studied the Bible for 500 years. You ain't tired of studying that now? It ain't helping all that time. You still ain't came up out of this slavery. That shit kept your ass in slavery because you don't know how to use it. You got to have knowledge of self to use the Bible. They're all tools to use, but you don't know how to use them because you won't listen. You think you know everything. And so by thinking that you know everything, that makes you not know a damn thing. You're supposed to be constantly learning and renewing the history all the time. You think it's an end to it. Oh, I'm just going to get this down and then I quote it and then that's it. No, that ain't it. Now you got to do it. You got the quotation down. Now start doing your research. Start going to the museums. Start going to the excavation sites. See, now what happens? You can't buy books, go to museums, go to excavation sites, and do all of this if you economically starving. You're starving economically. Strife. Then you won't be able to do these excavation sites. You won't be able to elevate yourself because in today's world, unless your parents already got you, but if you doing for self, you got to come up with a plan, and most people don't know how to do it. So that's why the Allah gave us the plan. He said, get a trade, or it could be A-N-D, or also born, understanding, understood, which would give you some equality, deal equal with a trade or profession. You got to look at the degrees and let them born you, right? So now, you're going to temper the steel, make it so that it can't be broken, and you give like that. You're going to make the lightsaber, you're going to make that kyber crystal right and exact so that if it's raw power, it'll be just going everywhere. You need to refine it and make it into a blade so it cuts, two-edged sword. It's like looking at the sun, all that raw power going out, and then the atmosphere filters out a lot of the harmful rays that would destroy the earth. Right? Because the sun is just too powerful. The light is too much. You have to bring the light down to children's level. That way, you get an understanding. And the children are very complex, but the lessons themselves have a complexity within their structure. That quotation is a complexity that changes everything. It makes you see things from a different perspective. So you're able to look at the things from two views. Like when you look at the mathematics, if you look at the math, you'll say, all right, just looking at the math and saying, where's the calendar at? Which calendar are you talking about is what I would be saying. Because depending on if you're using the Asiatic calendar or are you using the Gregorian calendar. See, you got years, months, and days in the Gregorian calendar, and you have years, months, and days in the Asiatic calendar. We went through that degree before where you could break it down by using the constellations. They have a pattern. You follow that pattern, you'll know that Aries is 1 and Pisces is 12. There's the real months. That's the real beginning of the year and the spring and this and that. That's how you could follow that pattern. That's the formula. How do you find the formula for years, months, and days on Asiatic? We already know in the Asiatic years because they gave you that, right? They said in the year 1914, which was the end of the double civilization, that's the year 15,000. So you could use that as your anchor. There's your anchor, so you can go forward or backward from that point because they already gave you the date, right? That's why I said 120 is the only thing that lasted, which is really supreme wisdom, but it took on the form of 120. And those lessons, and also Circle 7 and all that, the degrees themselves, Marcus Garvey's lessons, right? The Harbinger, the lessons of C. Kirkman, Bay, and even Brother Arloville's lessons are still on the paper, the books. The people who have them, plus the lessons that Allah left. They could deny that Allah got those lessons out the temple or whatever they want. The temple always trying to act like what we got, we stole it from them. No, we didn't. If it wasn't for us smuggling the lessons out, Bernice and all that, man, that shit wouldn't even be we wouldn't even have it like that on the streets. Wouldn't even got it, no. Because y'all fell after Elijah, Warren, and all them got together and destroyed shit. Or didn't get together and destroyed shit. They did both. There's others didn't want to be down, others did. That's that shit we do. We destroy our dynasties, legacies, and shit that we got already moving that's powerful. we allow the European to put his little hands in and cause us to fight and kill one another. Right? Basically, they had beef because Malcolm says something about the European that would bring heat on the nation. And so they got mad because he did that. And that's basically it. If you look at the foundation of what went down, he spoke on something that they didn't want to speak on publicly. Because the lessons speak on it already. When he said that, what? That's no worse than saying the second degree and the 1 to 10 and Yaqub and all that. Right? The same way when Allah stood up in the temple and the captain and all of them had beef with it. That's that same strife shit that we got as Lamb's Wool, and then we don't get together on shit like then we don't right now. And so that's the same thing that caused the devil to be able to get in and get us. Because even when he was able to trick the Asian nations into giving him, I use that for lack of a better way of letting everybody know who I'm talking about with the Marco Polo movement. Right? When he did that and got that gunpowder, he still didn't have enough to do anything, like take over everything. You still had to, like, let him in. Like, watch that movie, The Blue-Eyed Samurai. You see how he was all up in there with his guns and But if you look at the root of it, how did he get in there? Like, they let him in. I want his gold. There's always something, that he's offering you that you already had that you want more. Like, how much more do you want? You already got gold. Gold come from where you at, where you came from. You the first people on earth. Your footprint wasn't this devastating. And for lack of a better way of describing it, black, brown, red, yellow never put the type of footprint in the earth as been done when governments ran by the European. His ideology of how he treats the earth is not right and exact, and that's why it's a trickle-down effect. It's the leadership right now on the earth is the European. What? It's not the European? Sit here and kill me with that one. He's pretty much, you got leaders, other leaders, but they not running shit. They might be running their little country, but they not running. Dude, the fiat currency is the reserve currency, right? This how you know your country if it's running shit. Can you spend your country's money anywhere? See? That's when you start saying, people's country that they have fiat currency too, because that shows you that the European is running it. If the fiat currency is everywhere, then you're killing me here. So I'm going to break it down for you. The fiat currency is everywhere. And now they're starting to say, we want to go back to gold and silver as a basis. Because fiat currency has a way of running into inflation in a way that causes the country to fall apart. You got to keep buffering it back up. That's not good. Because usually the only way they support fiat currency is with war. Fiat currency needs guns and bullets and shit like that, and people killing and dying and all that. It needs that. So that takes me right back to the second degree and the 1 to 10. I know it. Look, I'm not following second degree and 1 to 10 on purpose. I'm just following the evidence. So the evidence leads that way. I'm going with the evidence, right? Mr. Manifest Destiny and all that. That's not black, brown, red, and yellow. This made up manifest destiny and their burden and really and race. Listen to our academia. Our academia tells us that the colonizer made up race. There was no race on earth till he made it up and made you believe that construct, because that's not a reality. But since you made it a reality, that's why if we shoot back to Eli, if we go to that, the book of Eli, watch that movie. If we do that, if that happens, because at this rate, that's where they aiming. They getting ready to go that way because they going to do so much that if some kind of natural disaster hits, it's on and popping because they going to be trying to save themselves, not the planet. They're going to be thinking that they the elite and they should be alive and it's all about them. That's what they think right now, that it's all about them being the best and this and that. And they trying to kill all of y'all. So now, look, now that you just figured out that they don't really care about the construct race, black, brown, red, yellow, white. They don't give a fuck about that. They only care about them as they think they the nobles and they think they connected to the reptilian group and all that. That's them. They think that. And so they want to be down with Wildermeyer and the vampire group. They want to be down with them. That's why they like the moon and darkness and shit. They want to be down there like it. That's what they want. Look at the root of their manifestation. Right? Vampires, Frankenstein, werewolves. That's their root from that group. And it connects right across, right? All the way across to the vampires and all of them. The whole northern part goes from what? You got to be like a detective and follow the evidence, and you'll see what's popping off, right? And so you'll say, oh, it goes back to that when he wrote the book about the seven hells and Malbolgia and Mephisto. And all that is part of that world. They made that shit go down. That's them. That's their whole culture, creed, religion. They got murder culture. They kings basically the best killer that was around. They do that. That's that murder, rape, pillage, mayhem, sodomizings, and they like that. That's their culture. Look at their war culture go down, and what's his name called that shit? He said they don't have really like a build-up culture. They got a destroy culture. Can't make this shit up. I didn't say it. The history books say it, and historical sightings say it. So I said all that to say is that there's a remedy. You don't have to have despair. I gave you the remedy. And you telling me after all of that, you don't think that the root is, man, listen, that's why he was telling you, clean up your act. Once you clean up yourself, like there's no way you could believe after you have knowledge of yourself that smoking cigarettes is right and exact. How could that be right and exact? If you go look at the executive board of the cigarette companies, and then you look at the second degree and the 1 to 10, and then you look at the evidence of the physical manifestation of what happens to the physical composition from Newports and Marlboro. I call those two out because that's the two main ones that's doing everything. Everybody else is riding in back of them. It's like they're the Bitcoin. Right? And so they're traveling that way. They're like, what's his name from the bat? Two-Face. But that coin he has got two heads on it. It's right. He just scratched one side, but that's the same thing with Newports and Marlboro. They're the same coin when they flipping them up. I don't care which side you land on. It's a wrap for you. So you helping the corporation, which is the devil. See what I'm saying? How it just connects itself. Look at the correlation. See, there's no way that's right and exact, and you're killing me. It's not right and exact. So all it's not right and exact. All those different fermented grains, not right and exact. All those different fermented fruits of the vine, not right and exact. You shouldn't be drinking that shit. That shit's poison, straight garbage. If you're going to deal with any fermentation, it should be like honey or it should be the plants of the desert. That's what the books say. All of them ancient books say do that. Don't do that. So I point that to you. So that's where we get our map. How are we traveling? How do we know these things? Like, how do we know to open up with a 3-day fast? Because the prophets and the law and the messengers and all of them said it. All those ancient books said it. So I'm going to listen to the ancient books before I listen to you who aren't. And then he says, but you're not successful. How do you know you're not successful? Because if you're the man and you're not in control of the cipher, then you're not successful. You still have a chance to become successful and be in control of the cipher. But if you're not in control of the cipher, then you're not successful. You didn't make it. All of us, and I ain't talking about the European ideology of what success is. You know if you made it or not. Ask yourself, am I successful? Did I make it? When the devil threw everything he had at me. How am I doing now that at the end now? Did it work? If you're in the beginning, you know what you got to do. I'm telling you, boy, if you don't make moves, you're going to be not correct. Shit going to go down with you. You going to be done. You got to look at the elders and see which ones made it and which ones didn't. You go, okay. The ones who didn't make it could still give you wisdom because they could tell you how not to fuck up. Because they know what they did and they could guide you the right way. Like, don't do this, boy. See what this shit do? Get you? It get you like me, wrecked. And then the other ones who didn't get wrecked, who followed the culture and the creed and they not wrecked, they don't got to say anything. You can see they made it. Right? Their wisdom is ways and actions, not verbal, but the ways and actions. You see it. You go, okay, they made it through this maze that the devil got us in right now. That they still in control of the cipher because our people ain't came together as one yet. You still got to say they not as one yet, and you got to know that. And so now we know we ain't together yet. What, we going to sit around and be nothing and wreck as an individual just because the nation ain't together yet? No, they're going to get it together. Their job is to get your shit together, and then they could get together. See what I'm saying? If everybody get their shit together, then we'll automatically be together. Because everybody be good. But everybody don't want to listen. They will listen to the devil quicker than they listen to the God. That's my word is born. They'll be right in your household with you. And then they start playing that what they call, I want to be like a politician. So they'll be trying to win public opinion, whichever the public opinion is in the family group. So they'll run around first telling their story and trying to sway everybody to their side. But that's what the devil does. Sway everybody to his side. But you'll be looking at him and they'll be wrecked. And you'll be going, well, I mean, I hear what you're saying. I understand your emotional side in it. But you're not. Because you're wrecked. If you wrecked, how did you get wrecked? Who wrecked you? Who made you hate yourself, right? Who made you hate your hair? Why does your black woman not like her hair? Her hair could be just natural. And she would rather put on a badass wig than let somebody see that natural because she thinks it's nappy and bad and not good. It ain't fixed up. And it ain't fixed up until you make it straight, right? You don't feel like, see, that's an internal feeling. He made that come through genetics. It's all the way in your DNA now. You know, he make you not like your hair. You want it blonde like the white man, woman. You want it looking like the white woman. You copying her because she set the standard right now. Just like the white man got the standard where they wearing their little suits and shit, and looking like you wearing the colonizer's clothes. You got the colonizer's food, clothing, and his shelter. You doing everything the colonizers. You ain't got nothing that's against the colonizer. Everything you do is his flow, and he still don't like you. You do everything that he told you to do to simulate the language, the culture, the creed. You did it all. His religion, and he still put foot to your ass. See? So that means right there, that's telling me I need to cut his ass off. He ain't right and exact. I'm going to do me. Once you switch to the other side, you got way better respect. You walk in the room, they know you ain't no coon dancing for the European. You stand on your square. And you already know how preventive medicine works. Elijah set up all that preventive medicine for you. Think about it. How you get in and out and all that. How you travel through, what legs you move in, all that. You're supposed to use that. You got to get the understanding of it and born it to the next level. The same way they do those different rituals and all this, that. The rituals is to give you the understanding. Y'all doing the ritual and even do the understanding. Well, who does that? Right? That ain't how you do it. I be talking to my people because they the ones is the only ones that's going to get us out of this is if we do it. So we can't even do simple shit. We got arguments with us over the opening that the law said do the 3-day fast before you even get him an ideology of what 120 is about. They need to do that. No discipline, but we don't do. I was talking about, oh, that's not necessary. And at the same breath, they just said it ain't necessary. Everything you doing, later on, you going to reap what you sow. Right? You're going to be having, and what happened? It's exactly what happened. Old God said back then, they going to reap what they sow. And what happened? They reap what they sow. Right? It is what it is. You made your bed hard, now you got to lay in it. But you ain't going to throw me under the bus because you made your bed hard and you had to lay in it. Because this is what you must understand. You got told the truth and living, the truth and the science, and the true and living God gave you the science. You just didn't do it. You didn't do it. And when the shit went down, you rolled with the wisdom, myself, divine, cipher, master, instead of God, cipher, divine, and that's what happened. When you put the moon and the earth in front of the sun, you caused whole havoc in your kingdom. And that's my word is born. Divine understanding, born of law. Set the record straight. Ancient or free ejection. How we do it. Peace of the gods, peace of earth, universal nation, all that. Word is born.